Welcome to this episode of the Everblack Nerdcast. On the show, our guest will be voice actress, podcaster, and horror enthusiast Jen Brown, who will be heading down to Australia for the Adelaide and Brisbane Supanovas kicking off this week on Friday, November 1st. Jen Brown is probably one of my favourite guests I've had on the program. She's lots of fun to hang with and knows her horror business, that's for sure. I'm a big fan of her Women in Caskets podcast especially, but most people know her from her voice work with Rooster Teeth series like Red vs. Blue and RWBY, or even her version of Harley Quinn in the DC Universe online. Very, very cool lady, and someone I'm definitely looking forward to catching up with at Supanova in Brisbane, which is just going to be epic this year. The guest lineup is just unreal. Adelaide and Brisbane have definitely topped it, like John Travolta, Billy Zane, Jason Isaacs, Galactic Empire, who we recently interviewed, and my comic hero and creator of the Goon, Eric Powell. That's just to name a few, and there's plenty more. I could probably take about half an hour to get through the epic list, but it's going to be definitely worth going and checking out. Super pumped for this year's Supanova, that's for sure. Get your tickets now through supanova.com.au and get your nerd on with us. Before we go into the show, we just have to give a shout out to our show supporters, Blacklight Art and Design, who are our go-to for all our screen printing needs. They do shirts, hats, patches, you name it. If you can wear it, they can print it. They've done all our shirts and hats for Everblack Media. Great guys. www.blacklightad.com.au. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at RWBY Promotion, who are the best in the biz when it comes to stickers, flyers, banners, badges, and all other promo you need for your band or business. Go check them out at www.rwpromotion.com.au. Also, I want to give a shout out to our friends at the occult clothing brand Electric Witch that just launched this week, and they've got some kick-ass apparel available now. I've also seen a preview of stuff that they've got coming out, and it looks amazing. It was started by Postmortem Matt from Dark Cell, who are some good friends of ours here at the program, and our other podcast, of course. Just awesome designs. I love my Death Dealer shirt. If you like things a little on the darker side, definitely check them out. www.electricwitch.com.au. Throw them a like on Facebook and help them spread the word, because they are an Australian brand and they're going to take over the world. You watch. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Everblack podcast through iTunes, Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, YouTube, and Facebook. And check out all our reviews and articles at www.everblackmedia.com. Like us on all the socials, and we have plenty more interviews coming up, especially on the weekend of Supanova in Brisbane. Hopefully, we're going to get some more for you guys and do a big special like we did last year, because that was a hell of a lot of fun. All right, here is my chat with the one and only Jen Brown. Awesome lady. Love her podcast. One thing I will mention about it, though, before we go into it, is the quality isn't the greatest. It was on speakerphone, and just there was some wires crossed. But it's still enjoyable. Catch her at Supanova. Enjoy, guys.
Hi, Jen. How are you?
Well, how are you doing?
I'm excellent, thanks. It's so good to talk to you again.
Yes, I'm so excited to be coming back to Australia.
I know, right? I know. Well, it has been a little while since we have spoken. Now, you're going to be coming back for Supanova in Brisbane and Adelaide, and you've done a few Supanovas now, so you'll be getting more familiar with the con and obviously the fans and stuff like that. Do you find that, you're seeing a few familiar faces at these now when you're coming back?
I sure hope so. I mean, we'll find out, because this will be my second time. So we'll see if someone has made the trek up to Brisbane and Adelaide. I don't know. But as far as the people that I met last time I was there, I cannot wait to see them again, hopefully, that work for the con and that are other guests and, other people that are, working, and just everyone I met last year, from fans and to people at the con, are all incredible. So I just can't wait to see new and old people.
Awesome. Because I thought you've been to Australia before that. Was that your first time last time?
Yeah, that was my first time last time.
There you go.
Yeah.
See? Well, of course, this one is going to be pretty massive, and it's probably the biggest supernova yet. I mean, you've got legends like yourself, John Travolta, Billy Zane. I mean, that's massive.
Yeah, huge people. I personally was a huge Billy Zane fan growing up, and still am. So when I saw that he was announced, I was like, ooh, that's very exciting. I really loved Demon Knight growing up because horror movies are my thing personally.
That's right.
And Demon Knight was one that me and my dad used to love watching together, and I had a big old crush on Billy Zane from that movie.
Do you know what's funny? I'm going to get him to sign my Demon Knight VHS. That's on my list of things to do in Brisbane.
That is a wonderful thing to do. That's very, very smart. I don't know my copy, which is heartbreaking. And I used to have it. I used to have the novelization as well. Demon Knight. They made a book version of it, and I had it, and I used to read it over and over. But I lost it.
Did you have the soundtrack?
I didn't have the soundtrack. But I did have the movie, and I used to watch it constantly, and then I don't know what happened to my copy.
Oh, that's a real shame. Well, hopefully we'll try and track you down one. Well, of course, at these cons, I mean, you do a lot around the world. Do you have a prized possession from one of your adventures at one of these?
Oh gosh. Aside from the amazing memories that I took home with me the last time I was in Australia, because it really was the trip of a lifetime, because going to Australia the first time for me was the first time I'd ever left the country, well, like gone overseas. It was my first big overseas trip. So it was just the whole thing, the whole 2 weeks was just an absolute treasure. And so those memories are wonderful. But as far as a physical thing that I've brought home, oh my gosh, I don't know. Oh, actually, yes, I do. It's not physical, but it was a conversation. So like I said, I'm a big horror person.
Yes.
And Nightmare on Elm Street is what my dad showed me when I was younger, and we really bonded over those movies. So, and Freddy Krueger, I was obsessed with when I was a little kid. And I got to do a convention. I did Dragon Con with Robert Englund, and I got to meet him as a normal person.
Wow.
And have a somewhat normal conversation with him, where I was like, oh yes, I had a horror themed wedding, and I cut the cake with a Freddy glove. It's very nice to meet you. Me totally pretending like it's not that big of a deal, and inside I'm completely dying. But it was, that was this absolute joy. That filled my heart forever, for sure.
That's
do
awesome.
a convention and meeting him was everything.
That's definitely, being a horror dude as well, that would definitely be top of my list, for sure.
He is the nicest, most wonderful man.
I've heard that. I have heard that, and I'm bummed I didn't get to meet him when he was out here last, but a friend of mine did, and got him to sign his Nightmare on Elm Street pinball machine, funny enough. So he's mad and pretty. Yeah.
That's so rad.
It's awesome, yeah. So how many cons a year would you say you do? I mean, you seem to travel everywhere. Lots of adventures.
I try to travel wherever someone will take me, basically. And if I'm available, obviously, if it fits into my schedule. I do around 10 a year, sometimes more. I said on average about 10 a year.
That's awesome. Man, what a life. You live in the dream, my friend.
Oh my gosh, I feel that way for sure. I'm 36. I'm turning 37 in November in a month, and so, oh my gosh, in a month. And I've been an actor for so long, and it's only been the past 10 years that I've been working for Rooster Teeth, and just the past 3 or 4 years, and just 2 years since I've been doing 3 years since I've been doing conventions. And it's just been so wonderful to finally feel like everything's coming together. It's a hard career, so it's lovely to feel some success. For sure. It feels really nice. And I love meeting people, and I'm a nerd, if you can't tell, obviously. So doing cons is really, really fun for me. I really enjoy it.
Of course, your fan base is quite diverse as well. Have you found that, the characters that you're doing signings for, changes depends on, where you travel to? Do you find that you've got certain pockets of fans of certain characters?
It is interesting to see who's more popular where. In general, Pyrrha seems to be the queen because how could she not be?
Yeah.
but obviously there's so much love for Agent Carolina, and Camp is really popular too, and people have been really, really enjoying Ered a lot, and I've been noticing a lot more people coming up for that too. So I don't know if I've noticed a specific trend, but it is interesting to see like the ebbs and flows. I don't know about from con to con, but I definitely say in general the most popular would be Pyrrha for sure, and Carolina, but Ered is starting to edge. It's like more and more younger, like teenagers coming up to me and being like, I love Camp, which makes me so happy, because it's like my favorite show to voice act on, because it's like the only one where I get to actually improv from time to time, and sometimes I use my lines.
That's awesome. That's so good. Of course, you're actually been cosplaying and doing cosplay pictures in your Pyrrha costume as well. That looks awesome.
Yes, I'm very excited. I did it for the very first time at Dragon Con this year, and then Supanova was interested in it as soon as they saw the pictures, and I was like, why not? I was only going to do it once this year. And then when Supanova inquired, I was like, well, it's close to Halloween, so that's perfect. Of course I'll bring it down. Yeah, I'm very excited to wear her again because I wore her very, very briefly at Dragon Con because, like I said, it was just like a quick, special one-time thing for photo op. So it'll be really nice to spend a little bit more time in her skin.
That is awesome. Of course, you mentioned Halloween. We don't really celebrate Halloween like you guys do over there in the States.
Right. Yes.
It must be I'd love to experience it the way you guys do. Is it a big deal? It must be a big deal. Your house must be filled with it.
It's huge in the States, for sure. But I know that some people, or there is at least a small bit of celebration for Halloween in Australia in some way, because I do have some friends there that I made last year who are big horror Halloween nerds like me. So I already tasked her with finding stuff, and she already said she found things for us to do. So there's definitely things to do on Halloween in Australia. It's just not as crazy as the States, I've heard. But there's still things to do. Apparently I found stuff to do. My husband and I are bringing costumes. We're going to do it. It's Halloween. I can't miss Halloween.
No.
It's my favorite holiday.
Especially when you love the horror stuff, It goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
Right. I know, although my costume isn't horror-related this year, but, one of them is, but I'm only bringing, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see which one I bring with me.
Of course, I'm a big fan of your Women in Caskets podcast, and I think it's one of the best out there, because you do so much research, and it's so well done. What's the status of that at the moment? Are you taking a bit of a break?
Yeah, thank you so much for bringing it up. Actually, we are coming back. We released a couple episodes last month, and we're going to be back to our regular schedule very soon, which is super exciting. So Dawn and I have already planned a bunch of episodes that we're going to be recording before I leave for Australia, so that hopefully they will be coming out while I'm there. Yay!
Absolutely.
And aside from that, we also started rebranding, and we finally have a new image for the podcast that we put on some very cool baseball t-shirts that are super rad, and those are available for sale on our website. They're really cool. So, and I'm going to try to bring some with me too.
Hey, please do, because I'd absolutely be keen, for sure, because I love it.
Oh, wonderful.
And of course, I also love that your company name, Brown Recluse. That's very clever.
Yeah.
Very, very clever. What are you working on in regards to that at the moment?
I have an animated series that I am putting together at the moment. Now, granted, this is just a pilot and pitch packet and animatic and all that kind of stuff. But the pilot's already been written. I've been working on this animated series idea for about a year. And so we're getting ready to get to pitch mode and start talking to people and see if we can get it on the air. But yeah, I don't want to say too much about it because obviously it's just in development. But it's an idea I've had for years. It's my pride and joy. It's my lifeblood. It's my tribute to queer half Latina girls like me and other weirdos, and I'm very excited about it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, been working on it really hard, and I love the pilot. So we'll see. Hopefully, look out for Savage World. Savage World, I can say that. It's called Savage World. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next year or two, you'll see something. I'm
super excited. I'm super excited. Of course, I mean, is it more horror related? Would you say?
It is. It is horror related. However, it's comedy, so it's geared more for teens and adults. So it's not. Yeah, it's not going to be super scary, technically. But it is going to be horror related. But it'll be something that horror fans could watch with their family and enjoy.
That is awesome.
Not kids, but like teens and parents. Yeah. Maybe not little. It is still horror related.
I'm all about it. I'm all about it, my friend. And of course, I mean, what else have you got coming up? What other projects are you working on outside of that?
I've got my normal voiceover projects. I'm always constantly auditioning. We have, of course, I have the podcast going on. And then my husband and I also do a Twitch stream called Jen Brown Plays a couple days a week when we can fit it in. And we try to do at least once a week, but we try to do twice a week when available. And I just play games and chat with people. Really fun. We restream the episodes on Twitch, so if, time-wise it doesn't work out, you can always watch the replay on Twitch. Yeah, I've got a few other things, too, that I can't really talk about yet. But, yes, lots of exciting stuff.
That is super exciting. I can't wait to see what you got coming up next. But, of course, in regards to more of the horror stuff, I mean, we've been getting a lot of remakes and stuff of late. If you had the chance to tackle something like a big property like Nightmare on Elm Street, what sort of take would you like to see that be done? Like, how would you tackle it?
It's so hilarious that you say that. Because the other day, I was talking with Dawn, my podcast partner on Women in Caskets, and my husband about, all these remakes and how we hated the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, but we've heard how they wanted to apparently try to reboot again, although it's stuck right now in a weird limbo, so that probably won't happen, but I know people want to do it, blah, blah, blah. And so we theoretically just started having a conversation, my husband and I, like, well, if I was going to remake it, a thing I don't want to remake that I love, how would I do it? What would I do differently? We ended up spending 2 hours talking about, like, our updated version of Nightmare on Elm Street. And what we eventually decided is that we would change the lead to where Nancy would be queer, and so she would have a girlfriend instead of a boyfriend. One, we would just do that right off the top. And then two, we would make it to where Freddy Krueger was falsely accused of being the child murderer and was, like, burned by the parents when he actually didn't do it. But he's still a total creepy, awful, like, bad person, which is why the whole neighborhood thought he did it. He still, like, hit his wife and wasn't the best human being, but he wasn't a child murderer. But they mistake him. So what happens is basically it gives him more ammunition for coming back to get vengeance because he was wrongfully killed. However, he's still a bad person, so he comes back to get vengeance instead of just, going away peacefully because he's still not, tip-top guy. That's what we decided we would do.
Very last question, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we decided we would do. We had this whole plot for the mom, and yeah.
I love it. And you know, I keep seeing the room, like, people keep mentioning Kevin Bacon. I reckon Kevin Bacon would be a pretty good Freddy. Who do you reckon would be down for that version?
He would be perfect for that version of Freddy. Are you kidding me? Oh, yeah. He'd be. We actually talked about that. Agreed.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Jen, thank you again for taking the time to hang out on the show and talk all things horror and Supanova, and we're going to see you in Adelaide and Brisbane next month. Getting ready, getting pumped. Thanks again, and until then, enjoy.
You too. Thank you so much.